to say, but they're still building his gigantic robot spider body.
But yeah, this just bugs me. Is it's like, oh, I'm covered in ice. I'm fine. Sure. Whatever. Sure. Fuck you, movie. It just happens to be water there in order to fall Robin. And Batman apparently has a laser.
Yeah. And then Freeze goes, I'll kill you later.
Yeah, it's like,
establishing, first of all,
I'll kill you next time.
Them. Yeah, I'll kill you next time. But why doesn't he kill him now?
The intent and the ability to
do it right now.
Instead of saying,
fuck it, I have to get home.
Yeah, basically,
Frenzy's on.
He's like, there's two of them chasing me. I got one of them.
I'm
halfway there.
I could either let him save the one and have two again, or kill the other one and be done with it.
Yeah, he's literally walking out and like, I kill you later.
He freezes a wall behind himself and then taps on the ice and waves.
Yeah. It's like, because he's funny.
Fuck you, movie. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you, movie. Fuck you, movie. You're right. Fuck you, movie.
It heard you the first, as I didn't think it heard you. So, alright, as Leach said.
I need a time machine to go back in time just to say Schumacher, fuck you, movie. I don't even want to stop it from being made, I just want to curse it.
You just want to curse at it during all of production.
Cut!
Could someone please get that jackass off the set?
Fuck you, movie!
Get him here in his time machine.
Oh my god.
Suddenly there's like a dozen of me.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love this. Yeah, Leach says, there's a big. It almost looks like a cistern. There's just a tank of water, and they're in an alleyway. We don't even know what it is. It almost looks like an outdoor cistern, but it's got water in it.
It's where the hobos pee.
Well, it's still liquid.
But, even though everything around it is ice,
frozen. This water hasn't. Yeah, he puts the frozen icicle of Robin in it, and then
which must weigh a ton if you think about it.
No, if you look at it, it's very
because you've got the weight of Robin, the weight of the suit. And then the weight of ice.
Yeah, no, it's he can pick it up very easily. Yeah. You know why? Because it's a very crappy mannequin.
Yeah.
So he puts it in the water, and as he said, turns on a laser and unfreezes him. At which point he looks up and goes, "Did we get him?" And Batman's like, oh, "Robin,
how are you breathing?"
Yeah.
This week on Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Now
we gotta get home. I miss friends.
That's the end of the entire opening scene that establishes the main villain Freeze of the movie. Now we're what? Probably 12 minutes in.
This is the 32-minute mark on our podcast, and we just reached the 10-minute mark on the movie. This is going to be a long one, people.
This is... Well, no.
Warning,
long. I think it'll move a little bit faster just because of all the scenes in the movie.
This is the one. This
is the... It's
like I don't know. I can think of about a dozen more.
Oh, there's
really
a dozen stupid things, but it seems like in terms
of...
This
is just the establishment.
This is rapid-fire stupid.
Yeah, when I first saw this movie all those years ago... I was already lost just by the museum this sequence of events alone.
Well, if we didn't mention this whole movie is shot in a gay sex factory.
Yes. Shot on location in the gay sex factory.
The lighting and everything. It's like, as you said...
What was the practicality of building a Gotham that is nothing but fucking statues?
It's big, naked statues of men.
You gotta wonder, what exactly does the apartment across the street from the giant schlong cost?
I was just about to say.
You get all the amenities that you need... And it's a beautiful house. Oh, what's wrong with it?
What's with
Open
the view?
your window.
It's in Jersey.
It's a giant bronze cock. Great.
You
giant
don't having
bronze.
Children, do you?
I would almost like that.
How do you explain that to kids? By the way, that's a penis.
I would almost like it just to give people directions. Like, all right, where do you live? I'm like, the giant bronze dick? Yeah, there you go.
Room 5.
I live past the giant bronze dick.
Look 3 yards to the right.
Which giant bronze stick? There are tons of them. They're everywhere.
All right, let's go over this for a quick second. Anyway, as they were saying, the architecture in the first two Batman movies done by Tim Burton, it was Gothic architecture.
Cool, it's impractical but awesome.
Yes, that was the thing. It looked like...
Really, the only thing wrong in the first movie is the church. Everything else kind of works.
Yeah, well, you're saying the only thing you even see in terms of Gothic architecture for a long time is the church.
It's the church.
But you see a lot of skyline shots.
The huge fucking church.
Cathedrals, flying buttresses, gargoyles, and then in the second one they really go off with the same thing because you see...
It's Gothic architecture.
It's Gothic architecture, especially the
cemetery.
cemetery.
It still seems like it has a place.
Yeah, it does, exactly.
It works.
Yeah.
In the third and fourth one, it was like the entire architecture of like a large grandiose scale was replaced with a large grandiose scale of statues of men just holding things. Like, a prime example, the only one I remember really much offhand is the observatory. It's a statue of a man keeping his hands together like he was presenting
holding
something.
A normal observatory.
Holding, a normal... The telescope.
It's gotta be, I mean, stories and stories off the ground.
It has to be. In order to... First off, you would never put an observatory in the middle of a city. The light alone would have ruined it.
Well, regardless of that, I mean, you're just...
Sorry.
No.
That's the logic
You're looking at the logic part of it, but it's like, it's large, unpractical statues.
Yeah.
It almost looks like,
I think all it is an observatory, right?
Yeah, it's just an observatory.
It's
There's
the
nothing in the statue.
So that giant statue is an elevator?
No, it's just supposed to look cool.
Well, I mean, how do they get... Is that, I guess, the only thing
I guess there's an elevator.
I know there's a shaft.
I'm going back to that.
There's quite a shaft. Yeah.
Yeah, and that another, I guess, stone to throw at Schumacher in the attack of it being a homoerotic movie, which you gotta admit, like, that's not helping. I'm like, you kind of dropped the ball now.
I wouldn't put it as homoerotic. I would just put it at dumb fucking idea.
It's
like Buttman and Throbbing.
Yeah. Don't worry, we're still recording.
I was going to say, we've had...
People, you don't realize that a couple minutes ago we stopped.
We had to stop.
And because of the magic of editing, you'll never know the difference. Alright, back to the movie, unfortunately. Alright, so that's it. Now we have to establish our second villain. Poison Ivy, played by Uma Thurman. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying the only good part of this movie is Uma Thurman's one of those women who either looks ravishingly hot or revolting.
Yeah.
And it's weird. She's just got one of those faces where it's like, God, you look kind
She
of
manages
ragged.
to do both in this.
Yeah, because they show her at the beginning as
Isley
Pamela
kind of
Isley, and she's kind of just nerdy looking with stringy hair, and she's working.
her.
She's working in Central America with research on plant venom and... No, plant venom, I'm sorry. Rattlesnake venom.
Plants have venom.
No.
Well, but no, that's what
They eventually do, yeah. She's doing research on rattlesnakes, even though...
She wants to crossbreed snakes and plants.
So the plants will have... Because that works. And beyond that, so she wants plants to have a natural defense mechanism because she's in love with plants and she thinks they're the ones who deserve the earth because they were here first. And... Yeah, I mean, that's basically the character in the book. She's a pretty weak character in the books. The only reason she has
cool powers. It's just
that was the thing.
The thing is, she can seduce men to do
exactly.
Work for
I was to say, there's a good reason she caught on. Even though her kind of motivation is kind of weak, she has the ability to use potions and different kinds of pheromone.
Was that scotch over there?
I wish.
No,
it sounded like a whole scotch.
It did. Clearly.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I was to say, sorry, it's just water. She has the ability.
It's just ice.
Oh.
It is. God, you asshole. Asshole. That was a stretch.
And it still fit in the movie.
All right.
Yeah, you wouldn't put it past him. Anyway.
Yeah, she can control men and like entice them and like love potions.
Really, she has no powers. It's just guys love, redheaded chicks in skin tight outfits.
Yeah,
suits, yeah,
basically. And she's doing research in South America about making this venom for plants. And the other doctor in this lab in the middle of the jungle...
Played by John Glover. I don't even think we ever got his character name, maybe briefly.
It's Jason
They did say
something.
it a couple of times.
I just remember because when she comes up, she's like, hello, Jason, and it's her first reveal as being sultry.
And then she mentions him into Bruce Wayne, and he's like, Dr. So-and-so was
and
she's like, oh, yeah, so you knew him.
But they are in the jungle doing research for Wayne Enterprises.
Well,
at least they're supplied by
their equipment
That's
is
it.
Wayne Enterprises.
Wayne Enterprises was funding them and then cut the funding.
When he discovered that the guy was insane.
Thank you.
So instead of doing what any business would do, which would be fire the guy and take back all your stuff...
No, they just let it go.
All
right, so...
No, I gotta say, for my money, the best part of this movie, in my opinion, is John Glover.
Well,
and his
in my opinion, any movie with John Glover in it, the response is the best part of the movie is
John Glover was way over the top, but in such a fun
He played a mad scientist.
The thing is, it worked in this movie. Him being the mad scientist worked.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun, I thought. And in a better movie...
Now you have to die.
I'm afraid you have to die.
Yeah,
so
he was a lot of fun.
He's taken Poison Ivy's research about the venom and used it to create the venom kind of serum that creates Bane. This is the third villain in the movie, even though he's not really a full-on villain. He's more just like a big, dumb thug that's under Poison Ivy's...
Just like in the books.
Yes.
Can we quick describe, because some people might not realize what Bane is.
Yeah, I never had any idea until recently.
Bane is the motherfucker who came up with the plan he broke the Batman. That was his big claim to fame, is he released all the villains of Arkham, made Batman physically exhausted trying to stop them all, and when Batman was at the point of pure exhaustion, picks him up and breaks his back. Because he's like, well, I could probably beat the shit out of you now, but instead, I'm going to make sure you're in your worst situation just to make sure nothing happens to me. Bane is a mastermind and a super-powered motherfucker.
Yeah.
And this...
Yeah, it's awful. That's when he's just tired.
He's Frankenstein in a bumblebee outfit.
I like how you almost went to the prettiest leopard with that.
Same thing.
I love you.
And I love how we watched the birth of Bane, which is the skinny little guy, and they pump him through full of the venom, and he becomes a gigantic wrestle-type person.
It doesn't even look realistic. It just looks
It's
like one
not
of those,
realistic.
No, I don't mean in terms of science. I mean just his muscles. He looks like he's in one of those big, like, sumo suits that people fight in. It
It
looks
definitely
awful.
looks very, very phony.
Yeah, with green veins underneath it. Yeah, the whole thing is, he's trying to create an evil super soldier that he can auction off.
To the highest bidder. To
Poison. He creates Bane, but he's chained to a table, and he's got a spiked codpiece, which is just kind of freaky. And like, not only is he
everyone in this movie has a spiked
Uma
codpiece.
Thurman has a gigantic codpiece in this movie.
Sadly, she doesn't. There's no camel toe.
Yeah, it's like, dude, really, you gotta at least
You
use
had
Silver
two
Stone
options.
And it's like,
And
no,
you
let's
failed
just
on
fail.
both.
Anyway, when Poison Ivy sees this, she tells him that she's going to expose him and that he won't get a job teaching high school chemistry. And so he's like, "I'm sorry you feel that way."
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry you feel that way. Now you have to die.
Yeah,
and he kills her.
He shoves
Which is
her.
awesome.
He shoves her.
I read his memoirs, though. It was his dream to become a high school chemistry teacher.
Yeah, he was really pissed.
He was very angry
That's
about that.
Yeah, he shoves her and she falls over and
A bunch of
is
chemicals.
covered in chemicals in the snakes.
Yes.
And she magically
horrifying.
just sinks into the ground a little bit, like the acid has burnt a hole or something. She sinks into the ground, but only like a foot or two.
Not very fun.
Not very far, and they don't explain that at all.
Not even enough to cover Uma's boobies.
Yes. And then she comes up out of the ground later.
Slim Jims are awesome.
It's like, what have we learned about this movie? Slim Jims kick ass. Yeah. Oh, man, I'm sorry. Before she comes out of the ground, we go back to Gotham, and we establish Mr. Freeze's headquarters, which is in the, what is it, Mr. Frosty's Snow
Mr.
Cones?
Frosty's Snow Cones.
Or something like that. It's an ice cream factory, and the front of it is a big snowman. And I swear to you, the first thing you hear is that song from The Year Without a Santa Claus by I'm Mr. White Christmas.
I'm Mr. Snow.
Yeah, and then you see a pair of feet in polar bear slippers tapping his foot along
With his polar
with
bear
polar bear robe. And he gives up, and it's Mr. Freeze. And come
his
on,
giant
Thing,
joints.
Thing! Yeah, he's got
big
this
fucking
Well,
joint.
it's supposed to be a cigar, but because everything is white, they paint it white, so it looks like a gigantic blunt. And he's like, "Come on, Thing!" And they show all his henchmen who are like freezing because he's cold.
And eating their food, which is frozen dinners while still frozen.
The
frozen
frozen TV dinners that are like still frozen in the sense of like they have like the little like grooves for the different compartments.
And now we get to meet Ms. Demeanor, my favorite.
Was it
pointless
Misdemeanor or Misbehaving?
Misbehaving.
It's
There's
Misbehaving.
Yeah.
Misbehaving.
Okay,
Yeah.
now
Doesn't matter.
No, it
Misdemeanor
does.
actually would have been better.
World difference.
That would have, I like that better, but no, sadly it's misbehaving.
All right, now if anybody remembers Batman Forever, they started in Batman Forever the Batman shtick of having some of the villains have female like assistants, the Harley Quinn type
they're
of role.
Harley Quinn.
They're
type
essentially Harley Quinn knockoffs. And in the now I haven't read a whole ton of Batman, and I'm assuming Sugar and Spice don't exist.
I don't know.
All right, so
I really don't believe.
in
so.
Batman Forever,
Maybe at some point they did, but I
okay.
really don't.
Well,
believe
regardless, it's irrelevant. In Batman Forever, Tommy Lee Jones has Sugar and Spice. One for his good personality, one for his bad, played by Drew Barrymore and Debbie Mazar. And they just
Drew Barrymore. That is where your career sunk to.
she's
Thankfully, it grew from there.
But the thing is, I'm sitting there, I'm like, it's Drew Barrymore and a Teddy. I'm fine with this. This is cool.
Yeah,
I don't mind. Yeah. So they basically are like, they cook for him and they're like, oh, we love you, Two-Facey. It's the kind of, you've seen it. You know what we're talking about. The female assistant. What?
Like the Gangster's Mall.
Yeah, okay, yes, exactly. In this, they repeat it with Vivica Fox as Ms. Behaven. And she's in the same thing. She's in a teddy with ice on it, and she's got like a robe that looks like it's got icicles.
It's transparent.
Yeah.
Plastic.
It's
rain
supposed
slicker.
to look like a rain slicker, or like, I guess, snowy or whatever.